Hey free-to-play gang, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to expose a new bug in this game. Okay, it's probably not a new bug. I mean, some of you guys might have seen it for like the longest period of time, but what I want to bring up is if you guys know about any of these bugs that exist in the game, please let me know, okay? Because it appears that this bug probably has been around for, I don't know, 10 months or so, and no one actually knew what about it in the Apep boss dungeon itself. So before I reveal what exactly this bug is, I give you guys like, I don't know, 15 seconds to let me know down in the comments below. Whoever reveals the bug correctly will be pinned. You will be pinned in the comment section below. I don't know, you guys like weird stuff like that anyway. So the reason why I'm doing blitzers is because I need to find the specific situation where that happened, and then we will take a look at it and I will share my thoughts about how I feel about such bugs. Alright, so I actually watched 10 of my runs and 2 of them had this issue. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, now that we are at the boss, let me just pause it real quick and let's take a look at what Apep does, right? So let's take a look at his passive again. Upon taking damage, inflicts 2 poison stacks on the attacker for 3 turns. Now when taking a certain number of attacks, triggers toxic detonation on targets immediately, and damage taken from Infernal Espers is increased by 60%, whereas damage dealt to non-Infernal Espers is increased by 75%. Now inflicting poison and dispelling status effects won't miss and cannot be resisted, and poison damage against non-Infernal Espers plus 75%. After a certain number of actions, every action afterwards will deal increased damage. Okay, so out of all of these, we kind of understand how it works. So if you bring in Infernal Espers, you can deal more damage. If you bring in non-Infernal damage, you're going to receive more damage, right? That is about the main catch of Apep's passive over here in terms of just elemental disadvantages and advantages. But take a look at this. So we crit, and we miss. We missed twice actually, right? On the ads as well. We missed on the right ad. I didn't realize it until now. Let's take a look at the ad here. Blessing Tablet attacks all enemies, inflicts poison for 3 turns, this effect won't miss. And okay, so the tablets here, they do not have any kind of like increased miss rate up on your allies. But yet at the same time, this is happening to Ashley. And the reason why this happens to Ashley is because she is not an Inferno type. She is any other type. But the thing is, Apep is also Wind. Ashley is also Wind. So naturally, there will not be a situation where Ashley should miss because she is Wind, Apep is Wind. There is no extra miss rate mechanism in this particular fight. But the truth is there is a miss rate mechanism here. Now in contrast, right, we take a look at Kronos here. So the main catch of Kronos was not just his AP up, but also for the fact that non-flow type Espers has a chance of missing. So let's take a look. And now Kronos passive here, the lower the target's current HP, the higher the damage dealt by this attack. If this attack kills the target hits 1 turn, at the end of an enemy's turn gains AP up, damage taken from flow Espers plus 60%, same as Apep by the way, and damage dealt to non-flow Espers plus 75%, same as Apep. Now, when attacked by a non-flow Esper, their miss rate increases by 30%. This is actually stated in Kronos. After a certain number of actions, every action blah blah increase damage. Okay, so this thing is mentioned in the Kronos passive, but it is not mentioned in the Apep passive. So all along, I always thought that Apep never had this miss mechanic, but yet it does. And I'm pretty sure that not a lot of you guys out there would know that this bug actually exists in the game. And I would think that this is quite a major bug because Apep is one of the primary Ritual Miracle bosses, or one of the most important bosses that we have in this game. Apep is indeed one of the more crucial bosses, yet the mechanics is not really stated out completely. Now, I'm not super sure whether this is intended or not, because they tend to hide a lot of stuff behind the scenes. So like for example, right, I've done the math before. Kronos actually has about a 70+% extra additional poison resistance, and Andrus on the other hand has like an additional 40+% poison resistance right now. So they haven't actually reduced Andrus poison resistance down to 0, which means now Andrus just has base resistance, which is 80%. No, that is not the case. Andrus has base 80% resistance and an additional fixed about 40% chance that he's going to resist all the poison attacks that you have. And now even for Apep, he even has a stupid mechanic where there is a percentage chance that one of your non-Infernal Espers can actually land a miss, which I think is kind of garbage. Like the fact that they restrict your Esper choices in all of these dungeons is baffling to me, because the fact is they all already have their own separate mechanics. Apep has a poison mechanic where he's a very strong counter against multi-hitters, and Kronos just has a mechanic where he will attack the lowest HP and he will keep gaining AP for himself. And then Fafnir has a mechanic where he has a lot of shields that requires a lot of multi-hits. And Andrus, on the other hand, has a lot of HP on, like, not just himself, but also the ads. But the thing is, because his gimmick prevents the use of crits, then you can only bring poison Espers in most situations, unless you're using a tablet, right? So we already have all of these mechanics. I don't understand why there is a need to have extra elemental restrictions in this game. So even in this particular boss fight, The fact that he's really dealing increased damage against non-Inferno type Espers is already quite alarming, but for the fact that you bringing in a non-Inferno Esper has a chance to miss, that completely removes like 75% of all the total Espers that you can choose from, and yet at the same time, because of how restrictive Apep is in terms of you cannot land multi-hits against him, that further reduces your pool to like, I don't know, 7 or 8 Espers at max. So I think it is all these kinds of mechanics that really frustrates me in terms of playing this game. It's kind of sad that after numerous attempts by the community, by myself, by other content creators as well, they just don't want to get rid of all of these dumb mechanics in this game that is really damaging the game itself. There is no point in setting all these artificial restrictions, making the game artificially more difficult, because you're limiting the number of Espers that you can use, and it's just simply not fun. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. How do you feel about this bug? Did you get it right as well? Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's content. If you did, don't forget to thumbs up. It really helps the channel, and subscribe for more Dislyte video content in the future. I screwed up my outro again.